Welcome to the Women in Leadership Body, Mind, Soul, and Business podcast. I'm Charlie.
And I'm Heather, and together we're working to connect women in leadership and business, improving the health and wellness of our community, body, mind, and soul. Today, I'm very excited, but what's most exciting is that we continue to connect with the heart and soul of who we are and what we do.
Yes, absolutely. Today's guest, you may recognize her. She's been with us several times before. She is an amazing woman of energy and body movement, and she loves sharing her passion with those around her. She has amazing videos and reels and interesting things on her YouTube channel, and I'm always loving her posts. So make sure you give her a like and follow, the beautiful Michell Brown.
Thank you so much. It's so great to be here. I love being here with you all. So fun.
It is super fun. So, Michell, you have this wonderful business that you started. And so take a couple of minutes and tell us a little bit about that for anybody who might be new and haven't met you yet.
Great. Well, my business is called Dynamic Mobility Training, and it's really about helping people to connect with themselves deeply. And I use movement, I use breath work, and I love teaching people, a lot of women, a lot of men too, how to explore new movement that is healing and that is, that helps unwind all the traumas and the things that we store in our bodies that we don't even know we store. And so those things in there get in our way, that can hold us tight and not let us, keep us in pain or emotional pain or mental anguish. And when you free things up inside, it's like, oh, things get to start moving. So we got to let the traffic jam go. And,
I love it.
And you can really do a lot with movement too. The movement actually helps you release those little traffic jams that get kind of caught up in your whole system. And then energy gets to move.
One of the things I've heard said is that we hold our issues in our tissues. It's like holding our emotions and trauma and stuff in our fascia, which is like the saran wrap that holds us all together. True. But go ahead.
Saran wrap that holds us all together. I love it.
Yeah.
That's a great way to describe it. Yeah, it's true.
It's true. Our connective tissue is like that saran wrap, basically. And, I think that there are researchers right now and people developing new modalities based on connective tissue, that it's like a thing, like connective tissue as a whole system in itself. And we've looked at bones and alignment and all of that, but the connective tissue moves. It moves, and more that you can move your body, and I'm not really like, there's so many types of movement, but the more you can move your body and open up places that are tight, then you get that energy movement, and you get to move your mind, and you get to move some of those issues stored in the tissues, because you open up new roads and new pathways for them to move. When we don't have a road or a pathway, and we just have like a block or a stuck place, it just keeps us thinking in the same way.
Right.
Yeah.
So to open up things, and the movement really works really well. The breath work really works really well to open up new roads inside you. So then you get to let stuff go, but you don't have to like overthink letting it go, and sit around and write, I forgive you, I forgive you, I forgive you. But it's like you do that, you do the forgiveness, but then you move the roadblock where the forgiveness got, where the resentment or whatever got stored inside you. And then your body just like unwinds.
It does. I have actually had experience where I have had like an emotional release of trauma, and then part of my body went crunch and like let go. And it's like,
Yeah.
oh, I was holding that in my tissues and I let it go, and it just let go
Yeah.
from my physical being as well as my spiritual being. Like,
Mm-hmm.
and it was
That's
very
so cool.
It was
So cool.
mhm.
I feel like when I'm letting things go, it's almost like I can feel the energy around me almost pulsating, like I'm vibing at a different level, literally.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's just moving out. Like, okay, we opened up and things are just starting to flow. Like
Mhm.
Yeah.
they're supposed to do.
Mhm.
So the body can do the things it's supposed to do, right? Like,
Yeah.
and I love how you work
That's
with people literally in any physical shape,
Mhm.
size, mobility. Like you don't have to be able to aerobically dance for an hour to come see Michelle. Like literally, it's about being comfortable in your own body wherever you're at.
It's
And
true.
and it's really hard to find something that you can attend like in a group setting where you can actually be at whatever level you are, right? Because it feels weird when you're in yoga class and
Mhm.
you have to have all the blocks and props and everything, and the person next to you is a pretzel, right? Like
Right.
there's none of
It's
that.
true.
There's none of that. Like I'm a blocks and props girl. But
It's so true. But yeah, well, every body,
Mhm.
every body is sacred basically, and however you are, whatever's going on, you have so much to give and so much wisdom inside you. And we see our culture has developed that we see the outer package and the norm of what you're supposed to be able to do. And, we have so many labels and judgments. And when you, when you actually let your energy flow and whatever you're doing or however you are, wow, you just let your truth flow through you and you let your wisdom flow out, and you have so much to give. Everybody has so much to give, and everybody has so much to receive. And so we all get to learn from each other, and anybody can move their body, even if it's like your tiny little finger. That can be so powerful, actually. And we have to move in different ways all the time, because otherwise we get too patterned. And that prevents us from healing. And that's what I was going to bring in today, is that opening up the patterns that we have lets more energy flow and lets more healing happen inside. But if we always do the same thing and have the same judgments about ourselves, well, I can't do that class because da 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 da, and I can't do that because it's so funny. I have one teacher that she's always like the last one in the class, the slowest person in the class, the person that has to have the most help. She's brilliant, but she's like, I'm not going to like try to conform to everybody else. I'm going to learn on my own what I need to learn. I think that's such a wonderful attitude to have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's fabulous.
It is fabulous. So movement helps you to do that. It helps you discover your own way, your own truth, because that's what we all want, right? We all want to come from our own truth, our own intuition, our own brilliance. And if you try to conform to somebody else or somebody else's stuff, I'm not saying that yoga is not wonderful. I'm not saying that all the things that we have are not wonderful, but just letting go a little bit.
Mhm.
And moving
Mhm.
helps you heal, because
Mhm.
your body starts believing you. It starts supporting you more. It starts going, oh, we're doing our thing. Yeah.
Like, I love this. It feels so great, right?
Totally.
Yeah.
Totally. Because when you're in your element, you
Mhm.
know, and you're just vibing and jazzing to yourself, and all these great ideas come to you.
Mhm.
It's like you're in your home. You're in your home. And when you're judging yourself, going, I'm not whatever enough, whatever the label is, then you're not in your home. You're like locked out.
Mhm. Mhm.
And healing happens when you relate to yourself, when you unblock the blocks, when you let energy flow.
And when you realize that you are enough, whatever it is, right?
When you connect
true.
to, I'm
So
already
true.
enough.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Already enough.
Yeah. So
So,
what I really wanted to share with you is like just doing some simple movement, and it can be anything. You can move your feet, you can move your ankles, you can move your knees, just letting yourself feel your body. So right now I'm moving my feet, just letting my toes move, moving my ankles.
my shoulders felt a little stuck lately, so I'm just rotating.
Yeah,
it.
letting them move a little bit. And you can't do it with the intent that, okay, I'm going to release all the tension in my shoulders now. No, it's not a way it works. You just go,
Tension, go away. Tension, go away. Tension, go away.
And then when it doesn't, you get mad at it, and then you get more tension.
And you don't want to do that. Just breathe and relax and be like, okay, shoulder,
If
I
you
love
move,
you.
yeah, if you move with the intention, like, hey, I'm going to be curious about how can I move? How many different ways can I move in my shoulders? And how can I breathe with my movement?
Cool.
And as you breathe with your movement, your body starts to unwind a little bit. Because mostly we're mentally generated.
Mm-hmm.
But if you start breathing and just move with your breath, it's not that easy if you haven't done it. So give yourself a break. Just breathe a little, move as you breathe. Like your breath is this little magic carpet, and you're sitting on your breath. You're sitting on that magic carpet of your breath.
I love that Michelle is actually sitting on the floor at her
I am
home.
sitting on the floor.
And Heather and I are sitting on the couch, and I'm just doing some nice, gentle seated cat cows for
Yeah.
my low back and spine. And you just gently move.
I feel my breath going like out my arms, and I just kind of want to wiggle.
It's so great. Spending some time breathing and moving without any agenda, but to be with yourself is very healing. Just like if you were to be with a friend and you just wanted that friend to be with you and not give you advice, but just hang out and just be together.
Mm-hmm.
Or be there for support, but not give you input. Just, hang out. You're doing that with yourself. You're just being with yourself. And I'm moving my spine and breathing.
What a cool gift to yourself every day. Like,
yeah. It's a super cool gift.
One of the things that Heather does, and she reminded me to do it this morning, is that spot that's been holding emotional tension, to touch that spot and to
Breathe into it.
breathe into it,
Breathe
and
the light in.
talk to it, be like, no, we've dealt with this trauma, it's okay, I love you,
Yeah.
thank you for being part of me, pet your leg or whatever the case may be.
I go to my leg. Like, this is that leg that it's the
Yeah.
spot, as you move energy through your body, you can feel where you're stuck, and
It's true.
and then if something comes up for you, maybe that's the memory you need to address to help through that stuff. Like, there's no wrong way.
There's no wrong way.
Yeah.
There's no wrong way to move. We're meant to move. We are movement. We are literally movement. There's no part of our bodies that isn't movement. And if you could see yourself from the inside, you'd be seeing so much movement of energy and of blood flow and of all your systems and your heart and everything moving. And so there's no wrong way to move your body.
I know there's been scientific studies and things done on how and why this works so well, and just healing your body, but then also being able to have someone like Michelle kind of coach you through how to do that in a way that best serves you, I think is really awesome. I think it's a really cool gift that you provide the world.
Thank you. It's so rewarding and so fun to coach someone, because I can see where your body's not moving. It's so hard to see themselves,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So hard.
Unless you spend all day looking in the mirror, like you don't know how your body is moving, where you're stuck at. Like,
no, like we all want to heal. And so just even doing, one of my tips is like even doing just a little bit, like moving your spine, like you were talking about, just a few gentle cat-cows while you're sitting or standing, and just get a sense of like, oh, when I move my spine, I'm affecting 31 pairs of nerves that go to everywhere in my body. I am giving my vertebra space. I am in all to have little cushion in between it. I'm moving energy through me. And I'm moving my life force. And when we want to heal, we need to move our life force. Shock, trauma, illness, you've got to move your life force. You've got to move your life force through you so you can replenish and move that issue in your tissue through you.
Yeah.
So just committing to a couple, it's kind of like if you have a meditation practice, you could add a couple minutes of just moving and breathing and letting your energy move all the way through you.
We're doing that. We're adding that in.
Yeah. We're trying to be a little bit more consistent with that. We've decided we've been trying to go live every day to read our daily meditation every day-ish. But we decided that today was going to be one of those days where we didn't, because we had already had a lot of deep conversation between the two of us, at like 7:30 this morning.
We're standing in her kitchen, we're crying. So we're just moving stuff through, like
working through those issues, talking about it.
Every week we're talking about things and we're doing these things, so we're showing up in this energy and let's move these things through. So this week is cultivating opposite, and this is exactly what this is. We're cultivating the opposite of where we are comfortable. We're so uncomfortable or we're so comfortable being uncomfortable. We're so comfortable in it's okay to be sick. We're so comfortable in we slowed down and aren't moving the way we want to. Like you got to cultivate that opposite. And you're such a blessing to us, Michelle.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. We get too comfortable sometimes. And it gets you out of your comfort zone a little bit.
Yeah.
And you don't have to get hugely out of your comfort zone. But if you get a little bit out of your comfort zone, like, oh, how can I move a little bit in a way that I haven't moved yet today? Like my shoulders, I'm moving my shoulders side to side and up and down and squeezing them back and moving them forward. So it gets me a little bit out of just like hunching over, but gives me more, how can I open my chest and move my shoulders back and breathe into my body? Because you have so much life force in there to access. But when our mind is just like kind of like closed down, and
I like how you took your hand up and then you like physically you like moved into the position of a closed mind. Like I could see it when you just like talking about it, like you're stuck and your whole body over and you're crunched in together and everything feels like it's really tight in front of you because everything we're doing is in front of us. So we got to open up and
also
move.
I just thought about how that affects your confidence, right? Because if you're closed-minded, you're you're scrunched up and your confidence is not there. But if you're open-minded, you're open, you're approachable, and you're confident.
True. Well, think what happens after, when you get sick and you're like, oh my gosh, how am I going to get well? Or you've had this big trauma in your family or your life, and everybody's kind of running around all freaked out and tense and closed up. The person that can breathe and move and open up their body can help everybody else to do that. Because we go through these periods of like shutting down, and you can decide, are you going to do that for 5 seconds or 5 minutes or 5 hours or 5 weeks or years? But if you don't want to do it for 5 years or decades, then you got to move your body, you got to move your mind and open yourself up, and that's uncomfortable. Especially if you've been closing up for a while, it's uncomfortable to open yourself up. But if you do little bitty bits at a time, you can do it.
That brings me back to when things started opening back up, once the shutdown or the lockdown was over and people started going out in the world again and doing things. It had been months of being comfortable in your own home, being like, I don't know about y'all, but I got lazy.
Yeah, everyone was a shut-in.
Right? Everybody did this. Right?
The squeeze.
and we got used to this, and because we got stuck in it, because you get stuck in this, and now it's time to open up, to blossom, to bloom again, because the world keeps spinning. Right?
It does.
Yes, it does, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. And I think sometimes we get afraid to open up because then if a tragedy happens or a shock or a trauma, like, oh, I can't open too much. But when you just let yourself open a little bit each day in a different way, you can handle that stress, because it's going to come in. Like, our world is so wonky right now, but the things are going to come in. But the more that you open yourself up, and you're the daisy or the rose that's starting to open up, and you breathe, then you set yourself up to be able to handle stress better, to handle the input that comes in better.
I had
And you want to be resilient.
I had an instructor that called it meditative snacks. And I was reminded of it when you put your hand on your chest and you just sort of like, and just breathed out, like, okay, we're going to move some energy right now. Sometimes I'll be going along.
Meditative snacks. I like that.
I'll be going
This is
along
so cute. So
and
cute.
and I'll realize that I haven't been breathing, right? Or I'm breathing really shallow and I'll just like, all right, let's get some oxygen in here. Let's get some flow, right? Yeah. And you can do that to yourself. And the act of putting your hand on your chest. I think you've talked about that before, like about
I have.
do you want to share that again? Because I feel like it's just such a beautiful thing.
Well, it's a heart. You're protecting your heart, and you're nourishing your heart when you put your hands across your chest. And so that's what we're doing right now, is like crossing our hands, putting them across our chest.
Like a butterfly on your chest.
Yeah.
Yeah, like a little butterfly on your chest. I want to share one more with you. If you stick your thumbs in your armpits and your fingers like on your chest,
like
there,
on your collarbone.
Oh, yeah.
You are working with your heart and the heart protector system of your body. So this is kind of cool, just to stick those fingers right under your armpits. It might be a little sore, especially if your shoulders are tight. And then your fingertips are like on the collarbones or below the collarbones, and your hands are just located, your palms are on over your heart. So you're really like helping your heart to have more energy. You're helping the heart protector system have more energy. And if you stick your fingers just kind of on the bottom of your throat, that system right there unwinds stress in your body.
I could feel that.
Me too. I feel it like pouring off.
If you're
my
not
back.
trying this, you should try this. If you're driving, please keep your hands on the wheel.
Don't do this while you're driving.
Try this later if you're driving.
Yeah. So you're getting your thumbs underneath your armpits. Your fingertips are just below the throat notch. The throat notch area is where you have a fight or flight response a lot of the time. That meridian, or those are points that assist your stress to release. And then your hands over your heart really, helps your whole heart system. And your thumbs are the protector system of your heart. So it's kind of a cool thing. I do this in bed. And it's really great to just unwind in your heart. And breathe a little and feel the breath underneath your hands. And feel your chest expanding and then coming back in again.
I feel like a warmth, a coziness under my palms.
Yeah. So this is a really nice one also to tell your heart, hey, I love you. Thank you so much for being my heart. Thank you so much for giving me so much love. And thank you for helping me give love and share my love. Because when you're at home and at peace and happy in your heart, like your life goes so much better.
Isn't that the truth?
So true.
It's true.
So,
and it helps you heal. Your heart helps you heal anything. It's when we've had an illness or trauma or shock or something and we're afraid, right? And we just think those thoughts over and over. What if? And instead, like, oh, what if I let my heart flourish? What if I give myself so much healing energy that my whole body just starts to balance again? What if I did that? You can even cross and stick your fingertips under your arms and your thumbs right in the center. This is a nice one too.
I feel like I'm giving myself a hug.
Right.
You are giving yourself a hug. You're also helping your spleen meridian, which is going to help you digest thoughts and feelings, help your immune system, help your heart system and your heart protector, and calm you down. So your hands are crossed over your chest, your thumbs are right under the edge of the collarbones.
Yeah.
Your fingers are flat underneath your arms. Whoa, and the energy can move when you do this.
I can actually literally feel myself, my body calming down.
Yeah,
I want to teach this to the kids.
it's a really great thing to teach to your kids.
Everyone needs to know
Really-
this.
Mhm.
Really great. It's
Wow.
true. It's so true, because we all need to learn how to take care of ourselves. And
Right.
you know, if half our classes in kindergarten up were how to take care of yourself, how to bring your heart energy through you.
If you were allowed to take care of yourself in a school setting, that's how my
Yeah.
son feels. He is just like, I'm not emotionally regulated for this, Mom. I love him so much.
I love how he wears things like, Mom, I'm not emotionally regulated for this right now. I can't handle it.
And
I'm
he's
like,
so
"Okay,
true. He's
well,
like,
you know, he's using his words in an appropriate manner. But Michelle,
That's so great.
these are such
I love that.
wonderful gifts for us to give ourselves. Thank you so much for sharing all that wonderfulness with us today.
Oh, you're so welcome. It's been so fun. I love talking to you all and sharing and receiving from you. It's so fun to be here.
oh,
Always a blessing to us as well. Always. We have, if you guys are interested in getting in touch with Michelle and joining some of her classes, either virtually, right? You're still doing virtual
Right,
classes.
I have a virtual class.
So from anywhere in the world, you can join her. And I encourage you to do so, because when Heather and I took her classes, we certainly felt so much better for days afterward. So thank you so much for offering these wonderful movement classes to people on the most used platform in the world, the internet.
right.
So
Right.
again, thank you so much for joining us. We love and appreciate you so much.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
We want to give a shout out to the Boogie Bin in honor of the Dogs of Podcast, which I'm really impressed she hasn't been snoring. She must be sleeping lightly today. The cause of the quarter is the Boogie Bin. The Boogie Bin collects new and used pet supplies for small and local network through oh my goodness,
through a network of local businesses. They have bins at like Copper House Coffee, Ladders, which is a thrift store downtown.
Flora and Fauna.
Flora and Fauna. Sal Brewery, I believe, has one too.
They at least have the sign.
And Barkery Unleashed has one. So, and that Barkery
Those are
Unleashed,
just the ones we can remember from the top of our heads.
yeah.
So check out the links to see where you can donate, and they donate it for helping nonprofit organizations help animals in need. And wait, other sponsor. Woo, woo.
We want to thank today's sponsor, Lorelei Chameo with MeWe Fairs. Lorelei, thank you so much for sponsoring today's show. Her links are also in the comments here. MeWe Fairs hosts metaphysics and wellness events online and in person throughout the Pacific Northwest. The online events are at jointhefair.com, and the next in-person events are June 4th and 5th in Portland. So today
Tomorrow?
is, tomorrow.
Tomorrow and Sunday in Portland, and she will be there.
She
And she does some really cool stuff with eyes, so you should check it out.
Yep. June 11th and 12th in Linwood, and Anacortes July 16th and 17th. Check out all the links in the comments or the description, depending on where you're listening, for more information.
We want to thank you all for joining us today on our Women in Leadership Body, Soul, Mind, and Business podcast. Without you, we could not be here. And this is such a wonderful space to be in. And we look forward to connecting with more beautiful souls in business.
So welcome to our table. Pull up a seat and we'll see you next time.
Namaste.
Namaste.
Mwah.